To a beautiful night for basketball. The are set to get things underway. It's the first of two semifinals here on We Digital. My name is Justin Prince. Alongside me is Jimmy Parsons as we get ready to see which teams will have the chance to battle it out for the hardware tomorrow. This is going to be a critical matchup for both these teams in both the program's histories, to say the very least. You have St. Clair looking to break through after consecutive silver medals. Then you have Algonquin looking to break themselves through for their own medal to try and get a gold here tonight.
Yes, Justin, this is going to be a great game. Excited to be here at the Sportsplex at St. Clair College, and we'll see the two teams battle it out. And St. Clair is undefeated. See if we can keep it that way here at St. Clair College.
First, you're seeing the Algonquin Wolves, who were one of the top teams in the respective division, the Eastern Division, and they have had a stellar campaign, shooting, scoring. A very talented shooting team, as discussed by their Eastern Division Coach of the Year in Jamie McLean. It's key to note, though, that a couple players are not in the lineup tonight, including their key point guard and McDonald, their normal shooting guard, moves to point guard amongst that 64 points per game squad.
Yes, they're going to have to make a few adjustments here tonight, and hopefully they have the game plan that they're going to come out and continue on that shooting and use the rest of the team as next person up, and it will be definitely a good game.
Meanwhile, for the St. Clair Saints, undefeated in the regular season, making their way to this Final Four of teams, 10-0 combined. Just under 72 points per game. They've been stellar statistically.
You know, when you look at the points per game and the field goal percentages, it is top-notch. And then when St. Clair gets that three ball going, there's no looking back.
This will be the type of night where being able to control your tempo, as described by both coaches, could be critical, especially when you have both teams having some solid shooting percentages, we'll say.
Absolutely, and you know what's going to be big this game is going to be rebounding and getting out on the break, because once either team gets going there, it's going to put a lot of pressure on both defenses. So we're going to have a good scoring game, and it's going to be a great time.
Let's take a look at the starting lineups for tonight's matchup, the first of two semifinals, as it's Sydney Moore starting alongside Sienna Liso. Then it is Alec Cesar alongside Libby Hurst. Then Jade Lyons rounding up the starting five. For St. Clair, they've stuck with the starting five most of the campaign. Kirsten Tompkins, Logan and Janica Serra, followed by Jessica Paolini and Shaylin Murphy, rounding out tonight's starting fives here in the Rose City. Moments away from the opening tip of the OCAA Women's Basketball Championships for 2022. Tonight's officials, Derek Stewart, Stacy Newbening, along with Andrew Yan, we're underway from Windsor. St. Clair wins the opening tip. Murphy swings it around the outside, gives it up to Tompkins. Down to the low post. Paolini misses, no good, picked up by the Wolves. And one of the major things discussed entering tonight when it came to this squad, moving their shooting guard to the point guard spot, known for the ball handling abilities. Keep an eye tonight, in particular, when it comes to Moore. Long shot, it's good for two.
Yes, great shot, great ball movement right out of the gate for Algonquin. And good to see that, getting that shot off and making that bucket.
First 40 seconds in, Justin Prince, Jimmy Parsons with you as Janica Serra, no good off the back rim. Rebound picked up by Lyons this time.
You know, like I said, the rebound is going to be key here. I love rebound and I love defense, and Algonquin's coming out of the gate, rebounding the ball and trying to get it up the floor.
High post set up this time. This is Hurst. Backs it out. Trying to cut back inside with 7 on the shot clock. Rejected. Here comes Tompkins. Tompkins slows the tempo down for St. Clair. Logan Casera cuts into the paint, back out to Jenna. Jenna, hop step, jumper, rolls in.
A simple ball screen and getting that ball to the top for that jumper and 2 points.
Janica Serra, one of the top scorers from this campaign for the team, 14.5 points per game. Picked it up late in the regular season. Moved around the outside by Moore. Now down to low post. This is Hurst. Once again, high swing. Lyons, no good off the back rim. Taken up once again by Janica Serra. Janica Serra gives it out to Murphy. She's been hot from three all postseason, no good. Tompkins keeps it alive. Extra pass to Logan Casera for three, no good, and that goes out of bounds for the air ball, despite St. Clair's efforts.
Good hustle by St. Clair to keep the ball moving. And that's, that's, like I said, that's going to be key. Get that ball moving around the horn there and see what kind of shots you could get or drive to the basket.
And keep in mind, when discussing things earlier with Coach McLean, mentioned to me that one of the keys will be the tempo, as he wants to control the pace, wants it to be his way for tonight on that mark. Can Algonquin continue that early on 2-2? On the low post, Hurst, the spin, post hook no good, Paolini on the rebound. Here comes Murphy. Murphy slows it off to Janica Serra, cutting to the left side. Drives into the paint, into the lane, gets to the roll. She's got 4.
That's 2 in a row with the high screen to get the ball for an easy 2.
Moved around meanwhile as Andy Kiss going for his first trap of the night. Breaking through it was the Wolves. Down to the low post once again. Back outside on the swing for the 3. Again, it's more way off the mark and out of bounds. 4-2 the score in the first 3 minutes or so of this one. Interesting matchup so far.
Yes, very, St. Clair showed a little bit of zone there. And just mixing it up, like you said.
Meanwhile, Jana Casera gives it off to Logan Casera. Off to Jana for 3. Once again, just off the back rim. Paolini, second chance rebound. Goes for the right hook off the window.
That was the rebounding there, and great rebound, great putback.
Paolini entering tonight 4.5 rebounds from the regular season. Has had a strong postseason as well. Murphy with a strong steal. Gives it up to Tompkins. Shovel pass to Logan. Taken up by St. Clair for the jump shot in transition. Yes! Logan Casera builds on to what has turned into an 8-2 run in the first 3.5 minutes. Algonquin looking to bounce back. Moved around the outside again. Liso, no good on the jumper. Paolini almost got the board, instead picked up by Hurst. And whistle drawn. That time trying to grab in was Logan Casero for the first whistle.
You talk about the tempo that the coaches were talking about, and you see Logan getting those points right off the start from a high pick and roll, and that just frees up a lot of space. Once you get that high pick and roll, a good handoff gets you to the bucket.
And you see with some of the scoring numbers from the season how impactful she has been on the floor. The Casera twins in several games this season have combined for a majority of the points, but that time, not inbounding in time, were the Wolves. 5-second violation.
Good defense by St. Clair there to get the turnover.
St. Clair controlling the tempo the way they've been looking for. Andy Kiss kept his cards close to his chest entering today in terms of the strategy. Logan Casera tries to set things up. Gets the screen now from Grace Smirk. Tries to draw contact, instead goes out of bounds. No whistle for the foul.
St. Clair looking to put on this press, see if they get another turnover.
And this is something Andy Kiss has been known for, too.
Absolutely. And Coach Kiss has great teams out there. Great.
And stolen away by Murphy. Janet Casera to the paint. The drive. It's good! Janet Casera with 6 points this quarter. And another whistle. Travel call.
That one's right on cue there. They got the steal and the 2 points. So Algonquin's going to call a quick timeout and go over things to try and break this press.
So our first timeout of the evening around the halfway mark of the first quarter. And so far, so strong when it comes to St. Clair and its offensive firepower, I should rather say.
Absolutely.
Let's compare that to the postseason so far for the Wolves. They've averaged 62 points per game, about 41% from the field. It's worth noting the bench hasn't been a major factor scoring, though, in those 2 playoff games.
Now with Algonquin short on a couple players, that's going to hurt as well.
Just 17 points off the turnovers in those 2 matchups. Close one against Loyalist, mind you, in the first place, then ended up coming away with that big victory over Lambton, 66-45.
Absolutely. Algonquin's a great team and great coaching staff, so, they'll be able to make adjustments and talk about it here. And it's 10-2 for the home team right now, but a lot of time left in this game.
Let's take a look at the previous play. Look at how close that got to being a steal back.
Yes, absolutely. But like we talked about, the press that Coach Kiss and staff have been doing, just a great press. and they always bring it on the defensive end, which gets those offensive opportunities for the team.
Back underway, 5:38 to go in the first quarter here in Windsor. Burden lines up alongside Smirk, Murphy, Logan, and Jenica Serra. No good on the bottom of the rim. Here comes Algonquin. Taken up once again by Hurst. Tries to drive it directly in. Jump shot. No good front rim. Rebound picked up by Hurst. Hurst talked about being a strong post player, especially when it comes to down the floor for speed. Gets the third chance. No. Fourth chance rejected. Here comes Burden. Burden kicks it off to Logan. Casella, Euro step, draws the contact. She'll go to the line for the first time tonight.
Great Euro step to avoid the contact and be able to get that shot off. Obviously, she was fouled on that shot. She'll have two shots and add to this total.
So for the first time tonight, St. Clair to the line. Seen pregame, 62.9% as a team at the stripe. Logan, 91% of the regular season. Very stellar this campaign for the free throw line.
You can't ask for much more than that.
12-2 run with the second make from the line. And St. Clair continues to control the tempo. Spun around to break the trap now by Algonquin. Moved over once again for the high post. Sizing up as Hurst. Goes into the low post for the double team. Back outside, looking for spacing for the three. Off the back of the rim, rebound picked up, second chance. Madison Robert with it. Passes it off to the corner again. Back for three again. Misses, no good. Here comes St. Clair. Logan Casera, open, can't grip it. Picked up off the steal by Cesar. Check that Moore. Moore lined up on the court at the moment with Hurst. Lined up as well with Robert. Rounding the five currently on said floor. He is currently Liso. As well as Cesar. Down low, stripped away again. Here comes Burden. Burden slows the tempo, gives it off for the three. Yes, she's got it.
Great transition by St. Clair. Get that offensive shot and that three-pointer off that transition.
Moved around by Algonquin. The Wolves trying to break the trap again. They do. Just under 4 minutes to go in the first quarter. 15-2 run. So far, St. Clair is rejected. Here comes Murphy. Murphy the drive. Contact into the line. She'll shoot two.
Yeah, you know what? Algonquin's doing a good job. They made that adjustment at the timeout to break the press, and then just a couple key turnovers on their offensive end, and St. Clair was able to bring it to the foul line on the opposite end.
More caught for a first personal. More substitutions. Lions coming back on in with that change with the shorter bench. But when it comes to Murphy, a two-sport athlete who missed the first of two there. Softball was a star athlete there, especially with stolen bases. This season with basketball, she's been stellar defensively, especially with the second half.
And you know that second sport, as you said, makes a big difference there. I always encourage kids and athletes to play multiple sports because you can see it on the defensive end.
1 for 2 at the line. Murphy now onto the bench, onto the floor as well. Desiree Bird joining Tompkins with that trip. Algonquin trying to break the trap, and instead it is an 8-second violation.
St. Clair continues with this press, and it's given Algonquin a tough time.
And it was mentioned by Coach McLean that composure was going to be a critical part of this game. They haven't looked composed so far to break the trap.
Yeah, absolutely. They have broken it a couple of times, but St. Clair has been dominant on the defensive end so far.
Bowden for three. It's good! Another triple for St. Clair, a 19-2 run. Moore trying to help break the cold spell. Just 2 points for the Wolves so far this first quarter. Low post again, Lions. Over top, Smirk drops it.
Great move, great hook shot there, a left-handed hook shot.
And it was talked about how her left hand in particular was going to be a strength for her this entire run. That was something Coach Kitts was watching for before tonight. Jenica Serra looks for another three. Yes, she's got it! And the Casera twins are in Flago. 22-4 run, St. Clair up. 2:35 to go in the first semifinal of the 2022 OCAA Women's Basketball Championships. Moore Back out for the jumper. Back rim no good from Robert. Taken up quickly by Janica Serra off the rebound for Bird. Moved over to Burden. 2-3 look. Algonquin moves over to man. Janica Serra for three, just off the back rim. Drop backs off with the miss. Algonquin just 2 makes so far this quarter.
St. Clair's been doing an awesome job on defense and turning that into a transition as they got another steal here.
Another turnover forced by St. Clair. Under 2 minutes to play in the first. Jenna this time cuts in, drives it in, it's good! Jenna Casera with 11 this quarter. Moved on forward by Moore. Guarded by Bird. Back along the outside, Cesar. Cuts right with the screen from Lyons. Pick and fade. Off of Lyons, out of bounds. Another time wanted. Possibly Algonquin thought it was off of St. Clair.
Yeah, I think that if we were to look at the tape there, that did go off of Algonquin. So great call by the refs. Good call and good D again by St. Clair College.
3 combined personals, by the way, for reference. After substitutions, so a couple more adjustments, including Josie Barr coming onto the floor for Algonquin. Murphy also back on in for St. Clair. Gives it off to Bird. Lined up alongside. Shaw alongside Tompkins. Drive in, it's good. Burden.
Burton did a great job coming off that high screen. It seems like St. Clair has a lot of high screens here and easy buckets when they go to the basket.
One of the top players off the bench this season, this year, was Brianna Burden in the entire West Division. And a reach-in call. Tompkins, first personal, second team foul. Coach McLean not happy.
No, you got to be able to get to the basket. Algonquin has to kind of settle down. There's still a lot of time left in this game. So although it is 26-4, there's still a lot of time in this game. You just need to settle down and play basketball.
Lions, long jump shot, no good. Second chance picked up, over to Moore. Moore forces the jump, goes for the jumper, no. Rebound, squirted over to Tompkins. Under a minute to go in the first quarter here on Weed Digital. And a reach up the court. Moore's second, third team foul.
When you look at the foul situation for Algonquin, they have to be careful that nobody gets in foul trouble early.
Especially knowing Sydney Moore is expected to play a lot of point guard with their current situation team-wise. Murphy, no. Rebound picked up this time for the second chance. It's good. Selena Shaw, the putback for the first year from Hoyne Ames.
That's the rebound intensity that we've talked about at the beginning of this game.
St. Clair controlling all facets of the game so far. Inside the paint. Stripped away, Murphy. Shot clock off, final 15 seconds of the first quarter of play. Moved over inside to Bird. Bird, pass back out. Off to Tompkins at the top, elects to take the three. Grazes the front of the rim. Squeeze to Bird. And they say it is off Bird down the baseline for the turnover. 2.5 seconds. Just enough time to try and toss it from near full court. Murphy giving chase to Moore, and they just elect to pass it up the court to end the first quarter. 28-4 is the score. St. Clair dominant out of the gates. You're watching Weed Digital for coverage of the OCAA Women's Basketball Championships from Windsor, Ontario.
My name is Nicole Pekala. Before I was in the welding program, I was a pet nutritionist at a pet shop for about 3 years. You'll be surprised how great it is to be a woman in the trades because it's such a welcoming community. Every woman that I've met that's in the trades program or has studied within the trades is just so happy to be in it. And why wouldn't you want to be a part of something that everybody else is enjoying and loving themselves?
Welcome back once more from Windsor, Ontario for tonight's coverage of OCAA women's basketball. My name is Justin Prince, alongside Ms. Jimmy Parsons, as we are just about set to go for the second quarter, and it has been domination station for St. Clair, to say the very least. Up 28-4 in the first semifinal after a quarter. Not what we were expecting.
No, Justin, but Algonquin is short a couple of players, but there's three things here. Press, turnovers, steals, leads to points.
And that's been critical with the 10 turnovers for Algonquin, 6 steals for St. Clair. That's transitioned into 16 points off turnovers so far for the Saints. We're about to start off the second quarter of play here in Windsor. Algonquin starts off with the ball to begin the quarter. Robert lines up on the court alongside Moore, as well as Lyons, joined alongside by Liso. Rounding out the 5 is Cesar. Taking their time on the tempo. The drive inside, no good. Bounces its way to Lyons, though, for a second chance. No shot clock reset as it didn't hit the rim for 3. That's off the back rim. And the cold streak continues. 2 for 16 are the Wolves so far tonight. Shaw, bank shot, no. Second chance, no. Ripped around for the jump ball for the first time tonight. St. Clair ball.
St. Clair comes out strong on defense there and is able to get the Algonquin to use up the full shot clock. That always makes it difficult when you're playing when you're playing the offensive end.
Yeah. Quick clarification coming in with the officials with 14 on the shot clock. 40 seconds into the second here on We Did It All. Janica Serra sets up top the free throw line off to Murphy. Murphy gets some space again. 3 again. Good.
Great shot. Found that space that she needed to get that shot.
Showing Murphy in the regular season shot about 28% from deep. That's gone up with some of the back-to-back-to-back 3 she's hit in some of the games this postseason at home. Meanwhile, Lyons, jump shot, good.
Good jump shot from the baseline there, and just a simple set. Gets Algonquin a good shot and 2 points.
And Lyons, a part of that veteran presence that comes in, was a transfer from Carleton. Before coming over to Algonquin for 3. Murphy, front rim, no. Logan Casera, put back is in.
St. Clair is dominating right now on the inside, and Algonquin's going to have to make a few adjustments to make this work.
20 of the 33 points by St. Clair scored are by the Casera twins so far. Murphy, rebound off the miss. Just about 2 minutes into this second quarter, Logan Casera down low to Paolini. Paolini spins in the post, doesn't get the bounce. Rebound picked up by Hurst, just kept inbounds down the baseline to Robert. Moore. Moved on over once again this time by Liso. Moved around to Lyons for 3. It's good.
Another 3. Don't leave her open. Very nice shot.
And the crazy thing is, she didn't hit a single 3 in the regular season. Showing her range in the postseason.
That's why we play the game.
Janica Serra. Step back jumper, no. Trying to get the second chance, instead bounced its way over to Hurst. Again, keeping the composed tempo is Hurst. Moved on once again to Moore. Stolen away again by Murphy. Janica Serra wide open by a country mile.
Excellent job by Murphy on that steal. She's been playing excellent defense today.
A stellar night for Murphy. Lyons. 2 players on her side, man-to-man defense still. Coach gets mentioned, man-to-man expected. Lyons makes the jumper.
She's creating that space, kind of taking the team on her back and hitting these shots, get them back, try and get them back in the game.
9 of the 11 points so far by her. Rejected on the drive by Murphy is Liso. Here comes Liso. Liso, the first-year player from Ottawa, nearly gets it poked away. Reset now by the Wolves with 12 on the shot clock. Looking to try and cut around. Multiple reach-ins, but the jump ball trigger. Algonquin possession still. More substitutions. Burden, Tompkins, Smirk come on in. Coming also on in will be Cesar. And for those watching for the first time, this is a common rotation play by Coach Kiss this season, with both players around 6 foot, 6'1", give or take in the forward spot. Smirk and Paolini usually trade per every 3 minutes with substitution rotation.
Try and keep the players fresh and maintain your dominance on the board. Another steal.
Taken up the floor now by Logan Casera for the jumper. No. Picks up her own miss, though. Second chance. Tried to pass it mid-shot. Jump ball situation again. Right down there is Smirk. St. Clair possession arrow. And what a stellar night.
St. Clair had 6 steals in that first quarter, and it looks like they're maintaining that with this man-to-man defense.
If anything, they're nearly up to double-digit steals with how strong the defense has been for them all night. Outside, Burden. 3, no good. Rebound picked up on the inside once again. Keep in mind, when it comes to Algonquin, their first team player in terms of the division, as well as their all-rookie member in McDonald, not able to play tonight due to situations under control. Put it lightly. That one rejected out of bounds. That's a tough situation where essentially they're down 2 players, a couple coaches entering tonight.
Yeah, it is tough, and you try to maintain.
And a whistle. And back the other direction.
Offensive foul. Yeah, getting back to that question, you try to maintain a game plan and watching video, and it's next person up. So everybody's got to play a little more minutes out there.
Hurst given her first personal, first team foul. Not too many fouls tonight in this one. Murphy moved over to Burden. Tries to keep it up top. One of the top players off the bench this season in the OCAA. Gets the rebound. Second chance. Graces the side of the backboard. Almost halfway through the second quarter. 5:22 to go in this half. 35-11 is your score. Down the line. Lions trying to pass it. Knocked it out of bounds off St. Clair. 11 seconds on the shot clock.
If you look at Algonquin, they're trying to get a 5 out or 4 out, 1 in, trying to get some movement outside of 3-point line.
We'll see if this works this time. There is that 3 out, 2 in more so this time, but the hook drops. It's Robert.
And you see that they went through Lyons there to get the ball on the inside. So it looks like they're gonna try and get Lyons the ball and see what she could do.
Looking solid on the play make. Burden, solid on the drive. It's good. Rhea Burden once again in the regular season, just under 7 points per game in the campaign. Nearly stole it away again by Murphy as it's tapped out of bounds for more substitutions. A couple more. We'll see Eliso along with Barr back on in. Janica Sarah back in as well. And you compare those statistics to a couple years ago, this is the trend for St. Clair scoring-wise with the Casera twins.
Absolutely. 30 to 32 points coming from the Twins. Everything is running from them.
Several times on their home floor, they've done that this year. No good. Janica Sarah picks up the rebound. Moved on up by Jenna. Tries to drive with the right hand. No. Back inside the rebound, Hurst. The White Lake, Ontario hometown player, once again active on the glass in this one. Looking to try and pass it off to the outside, looking to drive it inside. Tompkins with the help, no good. Tapped it out of bounds. They say it's off St. Clair. That'll give a fresh 14 to the Wolves. Another substitution sequence to the point where Andy Kitts is starting to clear some of his bench. Timeout called for the first time by St. Clair. And I will say this, with Coach Kiss, with his postseason run, I asked about his opinion on making it to the championship four again. His response was essentially, we belong with how they've been this postseason and how their season's gone in general.
Yeah, an undefeated season. They deserve to be in this position. I'm not going to say they deserve to be in the championship game because you have to have respect for everybody out there on the floor. They do belong in this Final Four. And as you see, things are going well for St. Clair. But as I said, you could always chip away at somebody's lead. So for St. Clair, you can't take the foot off the gas as you see the players here driving to the basket for the easy two off the screen we talked about earlier. And it's a simple handoff that kind of gets Algonquin moving from side to side, and St. Clair has the opportunity to go north and south.
And it's worth noting, too, with those statistics you're seeing, that's a little bit around those averages for the regular season. But Coach Kiss said himself he felt the defense was a big part of a lot of their victories. He felt only one time this year they really outpowered a team scoring-wise, and that was in their last postseason matchup.
Yeah, absolutely, and you could see it today. You know, they started off in the first quarter with a 2-2-1 press, went to a man, showed a little bit of zone, and they're doing a great job on defense in the defensive end.
Just 13 points scored by Algonquin so far in the first half of play. Another offensive foul, and back the other way. Hurst, her second.
3 minutes, 50 seconds left. Her second foul. You got to be careful on that one.
Especially with the short bench, absolutely. And St. Clair controlling the tempo, to say the very least, from the get-go. With the Caceres, as we mentioned, dominant the past few years. It shouldn't be surprised. Both of them were first division team all-stars in the West, but contact off ball. Jack Caceres to the court.
Yeah, when you talk about the Caceres twins, Jen already has 13 points in this game. So things are looking good.
And here's the big thing about that whistle we just seen. That's Hurst's third. So there's that foul trouble just referred to a second ago.
Yeah, and it's, you know, St. Clair keeps doing the high screen and roll as we saw in our last clip there. And it sometimes fools the defender to not talk. If you're not communicating, you're not switching, and you don't know what your team's doing, leads to foul.
And bounded back on in with 14 now on the shot clock. Janica Serra gives it outside for three. It's good. Sierra Emery, the second-year eligible player from W.F. Harmon, with the bucket. Moved around the outside, still by Algonquin. Staying committed to their calls. Cesar looks to the right, drives it on in to the paint again, deflected about. 3 on the shot clock, down under the cup. No whistle. That buzzer blew. Here comes Tompkins. Janica Serra looks to cut on inside. Off to Smirk on the backhand, off to Tompkins. Over once again, Emery to Smirk, rejected down low. Second chance, pick back up, 7 on the shot clock. Again for 3, again it's good!
That's 2 in a row for Emery. That's a good shot.
And Emery in the regular season, just 5 minutes per game.
Making use of her minutes off the bench here, making the best of it.
Stellar run off the bench for her. One of her best appearances. Count the basket and the foul. It's Liso drawing the N1 whistle. Just the first team foul by St. Clair this quarter.
Good job by Liso to get to the basket and force that contact to give her the N1.
Paolini, Tompkins wants those swapping about. Smirk coming out. Coming on in with the substitutions is White-Eye for Tompkins. Free throw no good on first trips, if not the first trip, surprisingly, for the Wolves, who averaged 64.6% for the stripe in the regular season. That time couldn't complete the N1. 2:24 to go in the second. Moore also back in now for Algonquin with the substitutions. Moved on to the outside of the paint. Now outside to the edge of the line. Just grazes the bottom of the rim. White-Eye picking up the rebound. St. Clair slowing down the tempo a bit. Up by almost 30. No good on the jump shot. Moved up now by Robert. With Moore. With it is now Moore. Under 2 minutes to play in the first half. Stored away by Bird. Janica Serra late waits to the left. Bird went to take it herself as that's knocked out of bounds off of Bird and out.
Good defense by Bird, but she got to finish that one.
She had the option to Janet to her left if possible. But now, The Wolves looking for something. Liso, low post. Contact to the line to shoot 2. Hold on. Yes, indeed, there's the signal with Bird. Bird's first. Second team foul. Janica Serra being substituted out now for Murphy after a stellar first half.
It looks like Coach Kiss is getting everybody in and keeping this team thing going. And, you know, with Coach Kiss, it's all about the defensive end. So even though they're up a considerable amount, it's all about defense and not letting the guard down.
Liso, 1 for 2 this time at the stripe, 75% in the regular season this year. Approaching 90 seconds to go in the first half of play. Remember, Dominic Papa will be standing by with halftime coverage. Murphy gets rejected. Moved ahead now by Moore off the rejection. Looking to battle in the post once again are the Wolves. 12 on the shot clock. Moore still with it. Moore passes it to the corner. Move back from the corner. Liso once again out. The hook, no. Lions can't get it to drop. Former player from Canada, Top Flight Academy. On the outside, White-Eye. Jumper, no. Second chance, Bird picks it up. And they say, over the back. That time, Paolini called for the whistle, her first.
Got a little aggressive there on the rebound, but I still like it. St. Clair is still going after the ball and playing defense.
It's a lot to think about, I think, if you're Algonquin, though, for the second half of play. You do not expect this when you come to the championship 4.
No, and you definitely, Algonquin has to talk about it and see what adjustments they can make.
That time, it's good for 3. One of the few jumpers for them, Cesar. Have to get some space. In the regular season, a 41% shooter from deep. Murphy, in response, off the bottom of the rim. Move back out to Murphy with a fresh 14. 12-second difference, shot clock and game clock. Over to Bird, outside again. Emery, can she stay hot? Almost. Bird cleans it up.
Bird left-handed putback.
Shot clock is off. Final shot of the half. Moore keeps it. Moore looking to beat the buzzer. No good. At a halftime, 45-19 is the score. A dominant first half of play for St. Clair here in Windsor. Dominic Papa standing by. In just a few moments, you're watching We Digital here from Windsor. St. Clair up by nearly 30. That to go. Wow.
RRSPs are a great start, but when you have a comprehensive plan that covers all of your life, you get a more sound, fulfilling retirement. Let us help get more out of your money so you can get more out of life. Investors Group. Invest in life.
Digital Productions. We're at halftime, as you can see. The score, St. Clair very dominant in that first half, 45-19 the score after the first 20 minutes of play. A lot of special people come to these tournaments, and we have a special guest with us here in the first half at the halftime, I should say. Coached many years with head coach Andy Kiss, not only here at the college but also in high school. Roger Musso joins us. Thanks for doing this with us, Coach Musso. And you have to really be impressed with that first half with the Saints.
They control the game. Their hustle makes things happen for them. I think the other teams short of players, a couple players for sure, but they're having a hard time keeping up with St. Anne's. The defense is very good. They've been knocking down passes and getting steals, so they've really had control of the game so far.
You know Coach Kiss so well. Again, you were with him in high school at St. Anne's, where you guys had a great run there. Of course, here you were with him for 4 or 5 years as his assistant. Had some good years there as well. He's set up a really nice program here. What makes Coach Andy Kiss a special coach?
He loves the game. He takes care of the kids like they're his own, and he studies the game. I think one of the things early on that really impressed me is that he studies the game. He studies the other team. He knows what he's got to deal with. So he's never going into the game in a half-baked way. He's always ready to go.
In your years of coaching with him, was there anything that maybe caught you off guard, or did he do things during the season that maybe even like you were like, "Wow, I wasn't expecting that, Coach"? And just to keep everybody kind of on edge, did he do things like that?
I think his determination. He's always working with the kids, showing them new things. He knows what the other team is bringing, and he sets up for that. If you can beat him, you can go home and pat yourself on the back because you've accomplished something. And because we get at St. Anne's, and here we draw some good players, so you have to come prepared.
The program, as I mentioned, is really solid here right now. He's been on a nice roll. Even when you were here, you had some winning seasons. How tough was it to get to that? And then what do you have to do to build that type of program and what he's done here?
He does a lot of scouting along with his assistant, Phil Milanis. They go out of town to see games. They know who the players are. They know the systems that the other coach is running. There's never a half-ready or half-baked game for them. They're always ready to go.
Let's talk about this tournament here, if we can, Coach Musso. I've got a couple more minutes with you. Obviously, real bonus to have it here at St. Clair. We love doing things here, but for his team and Coach Andy and his team, nice to have that home court advantage.
Absolutely. The kids are used to the kind of crowds we have here, and which is pretty good considering we're dealing with COVID. But he gets the teams ready for every game. You know, it's not like, oh, we played great last game, we can take it easy. No, not even. As I was watching the other team warm up today, I said something to him about, I think that, they don't have a lot of size, and he said, no, but they've got this player and that player. And so he always knows who he's dealing with.
He's always been so respectful towards his opponents, and he takes nothing for granted. Coach, great to have you here. I'm glad we got a chance to talk some basketball with you, and enjoy the rest of the tournament. We're obviously hoping that the green and gold could do something special here, but always great to see you here.
Great. Pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Roger Musso, one of the good guys for sure, former assistant coach of the St. Clair College Saints. He's enjoying the games. He's in retirement. He's earned it, so we'll let him do that. But we're going to take a quick timeout. When we come back, speaking of the Saints, assistant coach Phil Milanis will be joining us. We'll have that for you. We're watching the OCAA Women's Final Four on We Digital Productions. commercial. Let Alex know.
Hi, I'm Jeff from Monson Time Express. The world is in an unprecedented battle these days. We all have to come together to beat this horrible virus. Monson Time Express encourages everyone to stay safe and listen to the experts leading us through these challenging times. A new normal is going to have to be considered in our everyday lives. The team at Monson Time Express understands that you and your loved ones are still trying to go.
We're in our halftime here at the St. Clair College Sportsplex. OCAA women's basketball action, the Final Four. The Saints hosting the Algonquin Wolves in this first match. The Saints with a 26-point lead after the first half. Phil Melanis, the assistant coach of the St. Clair Saints, joins us. Coach Melanis, I would imagine you, Coach Kiss, the other coaches, pretty happy with that first half.
Yeah, for sure. You know, he came out. I know they're missing one of their star players, but you still got to play the game. You got to play the game hard, and kids did what they needed to do, shooting the ball and playing defense.
Of course, I know you and Coach Kiss do your scouting report, and you knew that Algonquin was missing a couple of key players. Did that change your approach at all in this?
No. Our game plan was same for all, but maybe a little bit different who's guarding who, but other than that, the game plan stayed the same. So
you got a pretty good, sizable lead right now. You know, we're going into the second half. What do you and Coach Kiss need to see from your team? And of course, you want to keep them sharp, because if you do win this game, which it looks like, you got to be ready for tomorrow.
Well, if you remember last provincials, we played Fanshawe. We played Humber in the semifinals, gave everything we had. We played 7 kids, and we kind of ran out of gas in the second half of the championship game. So today we're trying to get everyone in the second half. We got 11 out of 12 in the first half, so, you know, we play all 12 this half, and hopefully they have more. I mean, the game's not over, but hopefully they have more endurance for the next game.
Exactly. You got to pace them, that's for sure. This is a short tournament, but it's an intense tournament. So keeping that bench fresh is very vital, that's for sure. Coach, you're doing a great job. Keep up the great work. Appreciate your time. Good luck in the second half. That's Coach Phil Melanis of the St. Clair College Saints. I want to keep going here, folks, because I want to let Coach Jamie McLean of Algonquin get back to his team. I appreciate you giving us some time here, Coach. I know you're in really tough here right now, and you know, if you can, just give us a little insight as to what you said to the girls at half.
So really today, that first quarter was devastating for us. We had 10 turnovers, so that really wasn't helpful. But in that second quarter, we only had two turnovers, and it was only a 2-point quarter, right? So if we take just that one quarter, it wasn't that bad, right? So we got to build on that, use that positive energy to keep trying to grow and fight our way back.
It's no secret, Coach. A couple of your key players, key starters are out. They're back home. We wish them well, get healthy soon for sure. But how much of a difference is that making for your squad?
That's tough, especially just being 2 of our starters, 2 of our main players, East first team All-Star, East All-Rookie team. That's hard for us. It's really more of a mental thing right now for our girls to try to fight through that. It's a mental game right now for our girls to try to be able to say, no, we can do this on our own.
You mentioned the turnovers, Coach. I noticed that myself, but just the same, you got a couple of girls there starting. I mean, I'm sure they've played, but it's a little bit different when you start. Do you sense a little bit of nerves there?
There's definitely some first start nerves that are coming in there. First big game nerves for a bunch of these girls. Gotta give them full credit though. The second quarter they started to settle a little bit more, started to look for a couple of different things, and hopefully in this second half we can start to fight back a bit.
One of those things, Coach, where you just say, let's win a quarter right now.
100%. We gotta take it 10 minutes at a time right now. So it's even if we can break it down to 4 minutes or 5 minutes at a time, that might be what we have to do.
Well, you're a great leader for them, Coach, and really appreciate you giving us some time here. Good luck the second half and the rest of the way.
Guys.
Okay, that's head coach Jamie McLean of the Algonquin Wolves, I should say. His team down big here right now, but you know what? I don't see this team giving up at all. They're going to play much tougher and much better in this second half. Speaking of the second half, after the commercial break, we'll head back over to the play-by-play team. Justin Prince and Jimmy Parsons will have the call for you. You are watching OCAA Women's Final Four basketball action on We Digital Productions.
RSPs are a great start, but when you have a comprehensive plan that covers all of your life, you get a more sound, fulfilling retirement. Let us help get more out of your money so you can get more out of life. Investors Group. Invest in life.
Welcome back, everyone, to Windsor, Ontario for tonight's coverage of the OCAA Women's Basketball Championships. Its first of two semifinals. Justin Prince alongside Jimmy Parsons. As there's a lot to discuss when it comes to how things played out. We've heard what the coaches have said with their conversations with Dominic Papa. Now it's the question of how do the numbers look, to say the least, after what was a very dominant first quarter in particular for St. Clair, but they were able to keep this gap alive. Let's talk about the numbers, Jimmy.
Yeah, when you look at field goal percentage right away, you already have 40% for St. Clair, 24 for Algonquin, as you see. The other thing that sticks out is the offensive rebounds. St. Clair has 11 offensive boards to Algonquin 7. Overall, other than the score, obviously, the other thing is stellar defense. The defensive end, St. Clair has 8 steals that turned into actual points, but then they also have, St. Clair also has 9 assists compared to Algonquin's 4, and I think that is big too. When you share the ball, good things come from it.
Showing the impact of having the absence of McDonald, it seems, tonight. In your opinion, you were a coach of this program in the past with St. Clair College. What would you do if you were these respective sides, knowing how big this gap is here for this third quarter?
Yeah, you have to keep the defensive side going for St. Clair, but you also have to still look to run, push, and rebound the basketball. For Algonquin, it's the game plan. I know they're down significant, but it's the game plan.
And that's one of the positives that they've had in this game so far, making the jump shot. Jade Lyons now with a team-high 11 points. She's been a majority of her team scoring so far for Algonquin.
And with a few players for Algonquin in foul trouble, Algonquin went to a zone.
That time good on the inside shot, Paolini. Her second made bucket of the game. Meanwhile, sponsored by Algonquin. The Wolves going low post. Lions left hook, no. Poked around for the second chance, picked up instead by St. Clair. Murphy to Logan Casera, to the corner to Jenna for 3. Again, it's good.
That's the ball movement and assist that we just talked about at halftime. That brings positive and good to the team.
Jenna Casera, 7 for 13 from the field now. She steals it away. 3-on-2, goes in for the drive. It's good. Jenna Casera, 18 points so far tonight. Both Caceras have been stellar offensively. No good post hook, tapped out of bounds. Last touch by St. Clair. But to emphasize that, 18 points so far for Jenna Casera, 9 points so far for Logan Casera. That's 27 points combined so far to the 52 as contact and a whistle.
But, you know, you talk about those points there. That's excellent that they have the points. But I think the team defense, when you look at the overall numbers, I think that is the key for their success here today.
So that time, drawing the whistle, Paolini. Let's get amongst those in the vicinity. Outside, jump shot, good. Algonquin with their first bucket from outside of the quarter. Logan Casera to Paolini again. Too strong. Second chance deflected out of bounds. And kept alive for St. Clair as a result.
And on this inbounds, we'll see what St. Clair does, if they're going to look for a shot or go to the inside of this zone to try and break this zone.
Got it over. Now Murphy to Jenica Serra. Again the three. No. Logan Gacera puts it in.
That is the offensive rebounds that we've talked about.
11 of them in the first half alone by St. Clair. Floater, no good. Picked up now by St. Clair on the board. Just past 2 minutes into the third quarter of play here on We Digital. Justin Prince, Jimmy Parsons with you as Jenica Serra again is open for three. This time, no good. Tapped it bounds, last touch by St. Clair. Inbound set up for Algonquin substitution. Also setting up. Robert comes on in. This time for Lions. And of course, a huge opportunity for St. Clair with this situation and with this year's championships to try and chase after the first gold medal since 2014-50, Coach.
Yes, absolutely. And that is something that has been, another steal here.
Here comes St. Clair. Jenica Serra cuts it in, makes it. Makes it look beautiful with the cut. 56-24. 32 points the gap now, just past 3 minutes into the third. In the post, Hurst draws the whistle. Look to the line to shoot for two. Paolini right there. Let's take a look at the quick fast break. Just cuts left to avoid the screen attempt.
Yes, that semi-Euro step there to get to the basket after the steal. Excellent finish. Equates to 2 points. And then we talked about before as the gold medal here is that, you want to be in that game tomorrow night. Both teams do here. Obviously, this game isn't over, but, you want to make sure you take care of business here and have an opportunity to go for gold at home. What better opportunity to do it than this year?
Both free throws are good. And you're right on that. And the big thing is 3 consecutive held seasons, silver medals. The past 2 matchups were against Fanshawe, the team they played in the first round. So either way, a new gold medalist by the end of this year. Coming to form, stole it away. That time Shaw in the post, lined up now with Murphy, 6-man for the Western Division in Burden. Bird wants the 5 with Smirk. It's a low post, Algonquin. Again, no good. This time, tapped off of Algonquin, St. Clair ball. Last moment, Burden tapped it off of Robert noticed.
Good defense, good recognition there on the defensive end.
Approaching 4 minutes in, Burden. Swung around to Bird for the jumper. No. For the back rim, it's Smirk. Not able to hold on to the rebound as Algonquin looks to try and close on into this gap. Liso tries to set things up for the screens down low. The drive, Hurst, no good again. Their rebound picked up by Murphy, approaching halfway through this third quarter.
Algonquin is one and done, and that shows the defense that St. Clair has tonight. 1 shot, 1 rebound, and off St. Clair goes.
Smirk looks to go on the pass. Back to Burden, 6 on the shot clock. She goes inside. Can't get it to drop in. Rebound battled around 4. And if that battle draws some contact, Murphy in the vicinity there with the reach. And Murphy will be substituted off in turn for Tompkins. For Murphy, it's her first personal. 3rd team foul for St. Clair. This has been a trend in the third quarters in large game advantages like this, where they do rack up some fouls in the third.
And that's something that you got to try to avoid, because in any game, you don't want any of your teammates in foul trouble.
Halfway through the third. Moore moves left. Inside, count it, and the foul.
And you just mentioned the fouls. You got to be able to stay away from that, stay composed, and complete the assigned task, which is on the defensive end. It's been awesome, and St. Clair's been doing a great job in that first half. You can't let off the gas here. You got to continue to play defense, and defense will turn into offense.
Why not coming back on in with that? On the season, Moore, 8.1 points per game, regular season, 66.7% for the stripe, 31% from the field. Clair also picked up rebounds at 2.6 boards a game, 2 assists a game. Also got at least a steal per game. St. Clair making one more substitution before this completion of the three-point play. Emery also in. Halfway to the third quarter, St. Clair 15 minutes away, but chance for gold. Bring over to Tompkins. Outside, Emery. She made one in the first half. No good. Lyons picks up the rebound. Lyons, 3 rebound per game player in the East Division this year. Again, Moore finding something that's working. Yes! And a buzzer sounds as timeout called. St. Clair as they look to discuss things, as Algonquin may have found something working before chipping away the gap to 25.
Absolutely. You don't, like I've been talking about this whole second half, is you don't want to let off the gas when it comes to defense. And as you see, driving to the bucket, there might have been a little bit of contact there, but it's an excellent finish for Algonquin, and forced Coach Kiss to call timeout and talk about the defense and what they plan on doing for the rest of this quarter, rest of the game.
And you see the adjustments being made by Algonquin. Some of the play calls by Coach McLean. We talked about the success for his program this season. Very well-respected coach in this community when it comes to the Ottawa region in particular. Compare that now to St. Clair and their adjustments. You see how vocal Andy Kiss is being from that bench.
And I know he's upset with the team right now. We look at Athletes of the Week before we get to that. David Gomez, Jenna Sarah, Athletes of the Week for St. Clair College for March 7th to March 13th. Congratulations to them.
And a big part of why both of those players were able to see their teams make it to their championship fours. Of course, men's basketball team playing over at Humber's campus currently.
Yes.
For their tournament today and tomorrow. Well, when it comes to this women's basketball championship night for its semifinals, St. Clair still is up 56-31, 4:28 to go in the third. Back and forth. Tompkins this time breaks up the back and forth to Shaw. Now to Emery. To Smirk. To Shaw. No good at the low post. Ripped down as it's jump ball trigger. It stays at that end of the court as a result. First 14 for St. Clair. Shaw. Trying to draw contact, lost the ball. Picked up instead by Algonquin. Keep an eye on Moore. She has been finding some holes in the defensive schemes. This time, elects to pass it off. Algonquin hesitating from outside. 9 on the shot clock. Moved around for Barr. To Moore. To 3. Moore the spin. Moore step back jumper. Rolls in.
Good move there. Good shot by Moore. Playing that point guard spot and just picking away at the defense for St. Clair College.
7 points this quarter for Moore. No good in response by St. Clair inside. Algonquin starting to change the tempo. Moore gets some screens. Off the bounce pass. Cesar looking for movement. 7 on the shot clock. Can't get the cut. 3 on the shot clock. Loses the ball, turned over again. Here comes St. Clair. Tompkins. Pass deflected out of bounds by Moore. That will need inbound time. Hurst back on in. Near full substitution in order. Paolini, Burden, White-Eye. Once those coming in as well as Logan Casera. Emery, the only player staying in that substitution sequence. Meanwhile, Emery, the 3, doesn't drop. Ball picked up by Algonquin inside. Under 3 minutes to play in the third quarter. Moved ahead by the Wolves. Over to Moore. Moore, the spin. Back and forth, the drive, no good.
Good attempt there by Moore. Picking away at that defense.
Meanwhile, Emery, hook shot, rolls in.
Emery's doing a good job from the three-point line and attacking the paint.
8 points off the bench for Emory in the most minutes played for on the season. Down the baseline, the jump shot doesn't drop. Burden moves it back on up. About 2 minutes to go in the third quarter of play. Wide eye. Outside to Burden. Gives it off to Logan Gacera. Squished away. Take it away.
St. Clair a little careless with the ball there.
And you never know with the momentum swings, right? No good for the three. Trying to draw contact. Gets it in regardless. Lisa with the bucket.
As you see, yeah, good bucket there, and Algonquin's trying to pack in the zone and force St. Clair to shoot from the outside before they come in.
No good for the three for Burden.
And St. Clair hasn't been as good or as hot from the three-point line. Luckily, we got a turnover here.
Thrown away by Algonquin. And that's a good point to bring up with 6 of 16 in the first half of play. They started off with a couple early in the quarter. They haven't made any since, really, though.
Yeah, absolutely. But the good thing is that St. Clair is at home in their home gym, so they practice on these nets all the time. So if it's gone for a quarter, it should be able to come back.
Burden, meanwhile, swings it over. Given over to Paolini. Hook shot doesn't drop. Second chance also doesn't fall. Third chance. Bring White Eye to the free throw line to shoot two. Hard contact inside. And of course, you have experience at the head coaching position. You're at this level. How big is that difference of home court advantage? I mean, not just with the fans, of course, but in terms of the facility, the rims even, you mentioned.
Yeah, the rim, it's everything. It is crucial and an awesome experience if you're at home. Because you're shooting on your own rims, you're sleeping in your own bed, you're not traveling anywhere. Algonquin is a long bus ride and a lot of movies you're watching on the bus for that bus ride. So it's tough to travel at the OCAA level.
By the way, Algonquin now in the bonus with that reach in after the inbound. That time, Sierra Emery called for the personal. This brings an intriguing stance for Robert, the second-year player from Orleans, Ontario, who makes the first of two.
And I know Coach McLean's talking about just chip away at this, try and get it down with reason for the fourth quarter. And like we talked about before, you never know what could happen.
Second one's good.
It is March Madness for a reason.
And funnily enough, there have been games at times at this facility, in this city in our cases, where teams have led by 20 but lost by 10. Logan Gacera hits the three.
And that's all about shooting at home. You know, you miss a few, but you know where your spot is on the floor at home. So Logan's able to hit that one.
Meanwhile, Moore, 35 seconds to go. Outside jumper, no. Picked up by Logan Gacera. St. Clair starting to pick back up the tempo. Moved over to Burden. Slows it back down with 5-second difference. Shot clock. Game clock. White Eye to the floor. Whistle. That one goes to Barr for her first. Look at this.
And you're looking at here that the zone, being able to chip away at the zone. She's able to get inside, penetrate, and try and get that shot up. So, good job.
First one doesn't drop. White Eye, meanwhile. And one of the main things for her, she did not have a free throw in the regular season as Paolini called for the push. Paolini now in a bit of foul trouble with three. And that means Algonquin will have some more free throws with the shot clock now off.
You know, that is the best situation for Algonquin, the worst for St. Clair. You want this clock to keep going and stick with that game plan. We do not want, St. Clair doesn't want this clock to stop at any point in time.
First to 66.7% free throw shooter in the regular season. Makes both. But with that, trimmed down to the lowest gap it's been in a while. 22 points. Shot clock is off for St. Clair. Outside Burden. Moves it left. Back up to Logan. 5 on the quarter clock. Paolini jump shot baseline doesn't go. And at the end of the third quarter, Algonquin holds. 61-39 the score. St. Clair looks to hold on for 10 more minutes for a chance to battle for a gold medal tomorrow. You're watching We Digital from Windsor, Ontario.
Hi, I'm Jeff from Monson Time Express. The world is in an unprecedented battle these days. We all have to come together to beat this horrible virus. Monson Time Express encourages everyone to stay safe and listen to the experts leading us through these challenging times. A new normal is going to have to be considered in our everyday lives. The team at Monson Time Express understands that you and your loved ones are still trying to go forward each and every day. Monson Time Express is here to help and remains open to take care of all of your delivery needs. With a fleet of 50 vehicles, including cargo vans and sprinter vans, along with 24-foot straight trucks, it doesn't matter if your freight is big or small. Monson Time Express can guarantee the safe and prompt delivery service throughout Canada and the United States. Monson Time Express is open 24 hours a day, 364 days of the year. To get your delivery moving, contact Monson Time Express at www.monsontime.ca or call toll-free at 877-250-8282. From the Monson Time Express family to yours, stay safe and stay healthy.
Per usual for the men's basketball, and it looks like an all-West division final over there.
It is, with Redeemer and St. Clair taking on each other in just under an hour or so from now. Just about all set to go for the start of the fourth quarter. Algonquin reducing the gap down to 22 with a +4 quarter. Down low, Lyons starts things off in the post, gets rejected. Here comes Janica Serra. Moved up the left side by Janica Serra over to Murphy for 3. No. Rebound chased on down once again by Algonquin. With it now, Cesar. Guarded by Logan Casera on the floor for the Saints. Tompkins, Murphy, Logan and Janica Serra. Smirk, the 5. Drive for Hurst. Kicked out to Lyons. Jump shot. Back rim. Rebound picked up by Tompkins. So far, both teams looking to break through. Bounce pass to Jana. Pass to Smirk. Too strong. Again picked up by Algonquin the first minute through in the fourth quarter of play here in Windsor. Moore gets the screen from Lyons up top. Gives it down low. Gets it poked loose. Here comes Murphy. Smirk off the bounce. The drive no good. Again picked up by the Wolves inside. Both teams starting cold from the field.
Great defense there for Murphy again. We got to make sure St. Clair is finishing those easy layups.
Meanwhile, Lyons knocked out of bounds by Tompkins.
On that Algonquin side, they're doing the same thing St. Clair was doing early in the game with Lyons setting a screen for the point up top and seeing what happens on that pick and roll. It seems to be working for them.
So, by the way, Munsto's coming in with the substitutions. This is inbounded to Robert. 8 still on the shot clock. 90 seconds into the fourth here on We Digital. Justin Prince, Jimmy Parsons with you outside. More, no. Taken back up by Tompkins. Over to Logan Casera. Off to Jana. Wide open with the coverage. No. Jana chases down or a miss, though, for the fresh 14. Over to Logan. Logan bounces it on over. Tompkins tries to hold on to it. They say Algonquin touched it.
Another offensive rebound for St. Clair. They're +8 right now in the game.
Yeah, the rebounds have been going upward. With them missing the jump shot, though, no one has made a field goal in the fourth so far. Past 2 minutes in. Cesar. Pass back on over. Robert Robert goes left. On the pivot foot. 5 on the shot clock. Fades it around, no good. Again, Tompkins right there for the rebound. Remember, Tompkins a couple seasons ago, big part of the rebounding core. Janica Serra to Smirk. Wide open. Can't make it go. Janica Serra, second chance to Murphy. Tompkins slows it back down. Drives it back on in. Drives for contact. Hurst with 4.
4 fouls. She'll have to come out of the game here.
And Amelia Lyons rushing on in for her. She knew immediately before even looking up. Wide-eye and Paolini coming on in here. 61-39 still the score. Tompkins makes the first of 2.
We'll see what kind of defense St. Clair puts on here after this shot to get the tempo and momentum going.
Second free throw no good. Logan Gacera is good.
Offensive rebounds has been the name of this game today.
And that was one of the major things that stood out. In terms of the rebound, remember, as seen in post-game, or pre-game should say, 34 rebounds per game as a team were the Wolves coming into the postseason. No good on the jumper, again picked up by St. Clair. They push it up to Tompkins. Pass down low, Paolini driving too strong.
That's 4 misses in a row there for her, but you know what? Playing at home, I'm sure she'll be able to hit a few other opportunities here.
Both teams slowing down in the field goal shooting so far, to say the least. Algonquin looking to make something, no. Algonquin yet to make a shot this quarter. Logan over to White-Eye for 3, too strong.
St. Clair moving the ball well, just looking to knock down that shot.
You have to think somebody is going to say, let's stop building a brick house. To the baseline, knocked over his White-Eye. Another brick to the layer. Here comes Janica Serra. Out to Tompkins, open, 3. That smashes the brick house down. Tompkins has had a quiet one, just her first make from the field all night. Moore. Outside in response. Thrown at the basket. No, but the second chance drop for Robert. Now a timeout called. This time taken by St. Clair. So they have used 2 of their 3 timeouts of the half here. Algonquin has not used any so far.
And I think you're looking at Coach Kiss here. He wants to talk to the team about the defensive intensity. I'm sure of it.
And especially knowing you've got these medal matchups tomorrow. Bronze game as at 5. The gold medal game's at 7:30. You don't want to let your foot off the gas knowing you've got the opponents taking on share from the next game that could be on your doorstep who are watching along with this performance.
Correct, yeah. And you see people filming and other teams filming. All teams will have a film session tomorrow, whether you're playing for the bronze or gold. But you have to make sure you continue on and stick with that game plan of keeping the pedal down and playing defense. It looks like St. Clair is kind of letting off a little bit. You got to keep that going. If you miss a shot, I always say, make the next one. Continue to work hard and get to that basket.
Andy Kiss showing a bit of the frustration to the clipboard for a moment. But 67-41 still the score for St. Clair. However, in this quarter, they've scored just in total 6 points. 2 for Algonquin. Halfway through the 4th quarter. Janica Serra lined up with Logan Gacera. Paolini, White-Eye, Bird, the 5. The final 5 minutes of the 4th here. Paolini post. Hook, no. Knocked out of bounds. Algonquin basketball. And still give Algonquin credit. They've shown good flashes. The 2nd quarter and the 3rd quarter look fairly strong. I was talking about this before, during the halftime, before Dom stepped on in. if they play like they did in the second quarter and the first quarter, we might be talking about a completely different and close game here.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's that high screen that we just talked about before the last, and give them an opportunity at a shot.
Jenica Serra gives it off to Paolini. Rolls it on in.
Good dish there. And good finish.
Paolini nearly knocks it loose again, instead knocked out of bounds.
You know, with 4:37 to go here in the fourth quarter, both teams are still playing tomorrow regardless of who wins, who loses here. So,
and that's the critical thing.
You have to make sure you keep your team composed, you know, and both teams have to be under control because they are playing tomorrow. So there is still something on the table for both teams.
Exactly. Moore. Whistle drawn.
And I think that's why it's so important that you maintain, and I know Coach Kiss Coach Kiss, great coach. I know he's frustrated the last time out because he wants to continue on playing that defense. And as you said, Justin, the other teams are watching in the stands, and they can see what's going on.
In particular, seen Humber watching along with their whole entire team since they are taking on Niagara in the next game. And we know how dominant Humber's been this year in the East Division for women's basketball.
Absolutely, and this is a matchup that St. Clair wants. But again, they have to make sure they're out there finishing on both sides, offensive and defensively.
Turnover by St. Clair. 2 more substitutions. Hurst back on in with the 4 personals. Barr back in as well with 4:20 to go in the fourth. And you have to give credit to, you mentioned the defense being so stellar for St. Clair in particular. The Casera twins have had a stellar night as well. Moore, no good for the jump shot. Tompkins with the rebound. Both the twins putting on the twin power.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a sign out there, twin power.
Jump shot good from Bird meanwhile. And you mentioned the signs. How about 3 different signs have broken out? They started off with, I think, 1.
There was 1 earlier. Now there's 3. That's right.
Meanwhile, Hurst loses the dribble out of bounds.
And again, St. Clair defense here. I know I'm always talking about the defense, but defense leads to turnovers, which leads to points. And the Twins have been the lucky ones to have the opportunity to score. But, you know, it's a team game, right? So everybody's had that opportunity to at least touch the ball. And you look at St. Clair's assist.
Long jumper rolls its way in. Emery gets it to drop. (73-42), 3:21 to go in the fourth quarter of play here in Windsor in the first of 2 semifinals. Whistle drawn, inbound coming up, Algonquin baseline. Tompkins with the narrow personal, that is her 3rd. Murphy come on in with wide eye. Emery is coming on out. No, Tompkins instead is coming on out, as Coach Kissa was saying, why are you wanting to come out? Burden coming on in as well. Check that coming out, as everyone wants to come in and out. Hurst draws another one. Back-to-back whistles. This time it's Bird with her 2nd. Of note, Chantal DeVloot, for the first time this year, is in a basketball game for the women's team now. She has not appeared in any St. Clair game. Bucket's good for the Saints, but the number 21 jersey, she is a star for the volleyball team, mind you. This is her first appearance in the basketball side this year.
Yeah, no, that is definitely good to see.
DeVloot moves it on outside. Emery 3, no. Picked up by Bird. Moved on over to Murphy. Back over to Wide Eye. 8 on the shot clock. Double clutches, draws contact in the lane. She'll go to the line to shoot 2.
You know, just looking at it, looking to continue to penetrate through that zone to get an easy basket, get the contact, and now you're looking at 2 foul shots.
And Hurst is done for the night. That's her 5th personal. Hurst was expected to be one of the impact players by Coach McLean entering tonight. Just the 4 points on the score sheet. as coming back in as Lyons to close it out, 2:37. First and 2, no good as White-Eye extend this gap out to 30. Doesn't get the lucky roll. Moore. Kept calm. Liso. Bounced about. The post hook, it's good in traffic. Lyons.
Lyons has played well today.
Lyons has been one of the main positives, point-wise at least, with 13 points to lead away in scoring. Emery. To DeVlute. Back out to Murphy. To Bird. Jump shot. It's good again!
Sharing the ball, add another assist to the stat sheet.
And as some may say from the VIP sections, nothing but net for St. Clair scoring. Lyons. Outside 3. No, inside 2, no, regardless. Murphy takes it back up 90 seconds away from a gold medal matchup for St. Clair. Algonquin, 90 seconds away from the bronze game. Jump shot, good, baseline, Bird. Shrugs it off.
And as you said, they'll continue on tomorrow, both teams. Good game here tonight. St. Clair obviously overpowered Algonquin, and Algonquin had to make a number of adjustments. So
yeah,
they'll go back to the hotel room, watch some video, and come back tomorrow for that bronze medal game.
DeVlute gets the block meanwhile. Given down low, DeVlute to the line to shoot 2 for her first points all year. Tompkins coming back on in for Murphy. A chance to score first points in a basketball uniform. Has not been active in any of the games this season before tonight. First is no. 1 minute to go in the fourth. Welcome to the score sheet. Chantel DeVlute. Final minute of play in the fourth. St. Clair looking to finish strong. Jump shot good for the long 2 foot on the line. And for St. Clair, a lot of positives you mentioned with the defense for them as well, especially forcing turnovers. 40 seconds away from carrying that for a chance for gold. No good on 2 straight jump shots. Shot clock with 8 left to go. Tompkins jumper doesn't roll. And the notes for tomorrow going to be interesting to say the least, Jimmy.
Yes, absolutely. You know, it's for St. Clair, you know, tempo and, like you said, the defensive end. Algonquin, you know, battled the whole game. Obviously, the ball didn't fall as much as they wanted it to. And for St. Clair, 0.4 on the clock.
And a chance to celebrate. To the gold medal game goes St. Clair. They beat Algonquin 78-48 the final. This is their 4th consecutive gold medal game, Jimmy. What a feat.
Yes, absolutely. Coach Kiss and the coaching staff, congratulations to them. Great team, great coaching staff, and just couldn't be happier for them.
Post-game coverage, including player of the game, coming up right after this with Dominic Papa. You're watching We Digital from Windsor, Ontario.
Did you know that the most severe injuries in our region are motor vehicle crashes? 65% of road fatalities last year were directly the result of distracted driving. 90% of injuries arriving in our emergency rooms are preventable. Our message to you this summer is, put down the phone. Just drive. Let's work together to keep our trauma stretchers empty.
You know, now that you're going to that game, I know all of you want to get back to that game. The focus just has to be that much more.
Yeah, we've been focusing all week, knowing what our end goal is, and that's the gold medal. And here we are. We won game 1, and now we focus on game 2. But we need to get the rest, the proper sleep, the proper nutrition, and we'll come back tomorrow even stronger.
You've been here before. We know that. How much is experience helping you and your teammates right now?
The experience has helped us a lot. We've been able to help our rookies out, tell them what to expect. And, they've really stepped up their game. For us vets, we've been here before, so we know what the feeling is like and what the atmosphere is like. So we're going to come tomorrow ready more than ever to get the job done.
You, and I'm going to mention your sister as well. I got to give her props. Never cease to amaze us, or amaze me, that's for sure. You always find a way to find another gear. How do you do it? And I guess I'm going to say it's what makes you special, that you can do that, but how do you do it?
Our whole life growing up, we've had people supporting us no matter where it is, far away, home, or at home. And being in the gym our whole life, not just for basketball, but for working out, we've had people all around us that have, been there and they've challenged us. So having to overcome adversity all throughout our life, we've been able to put it into play here in college and play at our highest level. So I have to give a huge shout out to all the people in my life that have supported us, and especially our coaches.
Well, you've made a lot of people proud, that's for sure. I'm not going to ask anything else because I don't want to jinx anything. So I'm just excited for you. I'm excited for the team. It's going to be a great game tomorrow night no matter what. And congrats on everything, and thanks for giving us some time here tonight.
Thank you.
All right, there's our player of the game, Jana Kusera, as she tells me. I'll let Jana get going. I'm going to keep going here. I want to stay right here because we've got one of the ladies from the Algonquin team joining us. Really happy that Jade Lyons has given us some of her time here under tough circumstances, but I appreciate it, Jade. And just give me your quick thoughts about the game, how tough it was.
They're a tough team, and we can be a tough team too. I know we're down 2 of our starters due to COVID reasons, and having them back in the game, that game's a whole different game. And I still think we fought our hardest. We did our best we could. We had players playing out of positions that we've never played all season and just getting thrown in. We started playing a zone that we've never played before, and that gave us a little bit of energy. It helped us really sort of climb back that lead that they had in the first half there. But with our 2 starters back in this game, next year's a different year, and we're coming right back to the same spot.
Yeah, and I know the nucleus for next year is really good. I was talking to Coach Jamie McLean about it. He's really excited about this year and next year, and rightfully so. There's a lot of talented players. You can see it. Let's focus right now here, though, Jade, if we can. And of course, tomorrow you got to come back and play. You can still medal here. I mean, this is not a lost cause yet. I mean, sure, we'd all like to be going for the gold. That's not going to happen, but there's still a medal to grab here. How does the team bounce back from tonight's result, and what's going to be important for your team?
You know, we're a close group, and we stick together. We literally see each other every day. We spend countless hours together every day. Even though we lost right now, we're going to go back in that change room, forget it even happened, and we're going to come back out tomorrow even stronger, and we're going to prepare to play them again, but we're playing a different team, right? So with the mindset of playing the hardest team, we should be on path for success tomorrow, and that we might have lost tonight, but tomorrow's a different story, and the second we leave this building, that loss is out of our heads, and we're focusing on tomorrow and to win tomorrow and work hard.
Coaching's so important at this level, Jade, and I have to tell you, I'm really impressed with Coach McLean. He's a class act, first of all, but I just see how he communicates with you and your teammates, and that's so impressive to me. What does he like to play for?
He's an amazing coach, by far one of the best coaches I've ever had. He can push you to the point, just to the point where you don't break, and that's what you need. You need someone that'll push you to the extent that he pushes us. That only makes us better. It makes us work harder. It makes us fight. It makes us want to get up. When we come into practice some days and he sees our energy's low, he'll swing that in 1 second, and next thing you know, we're full of energy. We're practicing hard, and he's a great coach to play for, and I'm honored to have him as my coach, and everything he does is equals to how we got here and why we're here at the Final Four.
Definitely he has you guys prepared, that's for sure, and it shows in the play. Jade, good luck tomorrow. Hopefully good fortunes follows the squad, but really appreciate your time here tonight. All right, Jade Lyons of the Algonquin Wolves. You know, they're not going to play for a gold, but they still have a chance at a bronze medal. We'll see who their opponent's going to be. Speaking of that, we're going to take a little bit of a time out here. The crew's going to take a little bit of a break, but we do have our second semifinal game coming up for you in approximately 15 minutes or so. It's going to be the Humber Hawks, the top-ranked team in the province, taking on the Niagara Knights. Tip time will be approximately 8 o'clock or so. So Justin Prince and Jimmy Parsons will have the call for you. I will be here hosting for you, and certainly I love doing that and love doing what I do here with the St. Clair College program. But that's the story tonight. One game is in the books. The Saints victorious, 78-48 over the Algonquin Wolves. We'll see you back in about 15 minutes. Until then, this is Dominic Papa wishing you a great night on behalf of everybody here at We Digital Productions.
Good evening, sir. Where are you coming from?
I was just at a buddy's watching a game.
Have you consumed any alcohol tonight?
I had a couple beers.
Thanks. Can I ask you to step out of the vehicle, please?
How many drinks does it take to impair your ability to drive safely? Having even just a few casual drinks can impair your driving ability to the point that you could lose your license for at least 3 days or more.
Hi, honey.